Today, we're asking the D&D players and DMs of Reddit, what was your best, what moment? Part 1. Now's probably a good time to announce that we are doing a fatty boom batty dice giveaway with our friends over at Easy Roller Dice Company. Rip asked me to handpick $180 worth of mad luxurious dice and accessories that I would want for myself, and so that's what I did. One winner takes the whole pot, so click the link in the description below or in the pinned comments, follow us on Twitch and Twitter, and go visit EasyRollerDice.com for your chance to get your hands on Rip Daddy's brimming stimulus package, courtesy of Ripper himself and our sweet friends over at Easy Roller Dice Company. I stole an idea from a MrRipper video, Boots of Teleportation, where you basically name your destination and whoever wears the boot kicks you to the destination. Today, just now, with a 100,000 IQ move, our monk put the boot on and kicked the big bad evil guy into the middle of the ocean. I want to try and imitate a quacking sound using a blade of grass. Ranger. I will help. Barbarian. How? Ranger. End of conversation. Greatest warrior of all time was named Celica, was an NPC that we basically followed and helped, then had to defeat. Name was Achilles backwards. Another time, a city had an undead problem. The graveyard sign was broken, and to restore the enchantment, we had to replace the letters on the sign. The city graveyard was called Sylvan. We found the letters Traania, spelling Transylvania. These are pretty plain, but it was still fun finding out the plan. Smiley face. I'll give 2. We were playing in a Victorian setting and being chased by the guards after being framed for a murder we didn't commit. We decided to hijack a horse and buggy to escape as the guards pursued us on their horses. Our wizard drove, while our gunslinger, our monk, and I sat in the back fighting off the guards. My turn comes up. Me. I use my glaive's reach to attack the guards' horses. DM. Wait, what? Me. My glaive has a 10-foot reach, and it'd be against my lawful neutral paladin's oath to attack these guards for just trying to do their job. I ended up having our gunslinger aim for the horses as well, and together we defeated them, derailing our DM's entire session as he didn't think I would attack the horses. We were running a game where an NPC who had helped us near the beginning of the campaign had been captured for harboring us as criminals, so we decided to break him out of prison. My cleric was a very methodical person and thus made a plan in order to not get caught no matter what. Our rogue had insane stealth, so we decided he would be the first to infiltrate, while the rest of the party found a way in through the sewers. I gave the rogue enhance ability for dexterity, so the only plausible way he could get caught was by getting 2 nat 1s consecutively, which is a 1 in 400 chance. But what are the odds of that happening? Our rogue then proceeds to roll 2 natural 1s as a prison guard hears him outside. So then our rogue casts Disguise Self and pretends to be the town crier who had spotted some criminals, us, over at the guard station a few buildings down. This completely derailed my character's plan, so our ranger made a difficult shot and got a natural 20 to get the paladin and I over the walls, where we proceeded to hop from building to building until we got to the guard station and burned it down with my fire magic and the paladin's breath weapon, distracting the guards inside the prison, allowing us to go back and easily take out the few guards inside and proceed to free every prisoner. The only problem was the guards came back with reinforcements, so I placed a wall of fire at the prison entrance, which made it so they wouldn't come in. But we couldn't really leave either. But our ranger, still outside, asked if there was a gallows. The DM said yes. The ranger then proceeds to rip the gallows from its platform with the help of a tiny NPC that we helped get through a prison window, and use it as a battering ram to break through a crack in the prison's back wall, allowing us and all the prisoners to escape through the sewers without the guards knowing we left. That entire session was full of batshit insane moments that caused us all to go, wait, what? I've mentioned this party and setting in a past post, but to reiterate, me and 3 friends were playing as the adventuring heirs, royal/noble families from a Chinese/Japanese section of the created world. And people from our specific land had the ability to reincarnate. By this point in the storytelling, I had made allies across the globe and the party had split, so the party's paladin prince and his cousin/bodyguard of a shadow monk, me, were invited by some previous allies to a wedding. and we took a shortcut through the Fey world to get there and back to our task in a timely manner, since it was on the other side of the continent. This was my second trip through this part of the world, and little did I know that my monk had drawn the attention of someone. Midway through our trek, we were swarmed by dark Fey night after night until they captured us and delivered us to the palace of none other than the Raven Queen herself. We were terrified thinking about what Lady Death herself could possibly want with us, but then she walked right up to me with a smile. The big WTF moment was when it was revealed that my monk had actually been her consort in his previous life, and she was hell-bent on getting her beloved dark magic boy toy back. This immediately led into a series of returning memories of him and his belladonna, as he used to call her in his past life, and quite a bit of confliction. He genuinely had feelings for her in his past life as she did for him, but now he had duties and a world to save. The next WTF moment was directed to the DM. After a day or two in the castle, and after the rest of the party dusted in to try and help us escape, the Raven Queen came this close to killing off the rest of the party and claiming me, which collectively would have resulted in a game over, but my monk flipped the tables by finding a middle ground deal that they could both benefit from. The party would be allowed to go on their way, and in return, the Raven Queen could have full access to the soul of the monk while he slept, effectively offering an entire 1/3 or 1/2 of his life that he would never use without shortening his total lifespan. To further solidify this deal, I revealed to the DM that I had just multiclassed into Warlock with plans to build a Raven Queen patron. Needless to say, the DM and the Raven Queen both were impressed by the plan, and we were free to go. From that point, the DM would occasionally throw in a scene while we long rested where my monk could visit with his lovesick goddess and share important details about the quest ahead. Her aid in that regard has turned her into an incredibly valuable asset and a source of historic exposition thanks to her ability to question the souls of the dead. This is what happens when you find door number 3 in seemingly impossible scenarios. Everyone wins. My first time DMing. I'm running Lost Mines of Phandelver. There's only 3 members in the party, and they were at the Goblin's Cave in order to reclaim their stuff. They were all knocked unconscious in the first encounter, and they managed to attract the attention from 2 different rooms. While fighting, the rogue goes down. Afterwards, a goblin screams, "Flad!" and the rogue takes 2 death fails from being shoved out of the cave by the rush of water. Just as the session ends and everyone starts packing, the rogue fails his next death save and dies. When the rogue's player rolled that, I was just like, wait, what? Don't worry about the rogue, though. He's made a deal that's made him undead. He just doesn't know what deal he's made yet. And neither do I. Basically, my whole campaign, I'm a new DM and I'm running what I call knockoff D&D. Basically made a map and a bunch of random creatures, no proper rules, roll for everything, completely homebrew. It's just for me to get the hang of balancing player turns and working out battles and things. There are a lot of random stories, but I'll pick one. You see, there's this one rule I have made. If you don't show up to the session, your character is condemned to laying on the ground like a pancake the whole session. You can't die, nor can you take damage, but other than that, other characters can do what they want. You could be left behind and need to catch up to the party alone if they wandered too far, or dragged along, or even hurled at a fish centipede abomination wearing a top hat and a monocle. Most definitely hasn't happened before, but you can see how this would lead to some interesting situations. Anyways, one of my players was away for a session. He played a cat. He was alone in a lab with one other player who had just defeated a gigantic strawberry covered in hypodermic needles by throwing a baby raccoon at it. A story for another time. This player was new to D&D and was kind of testing what he could do and how far he could go. He also had a jar of pickles, which healed him and poisoned others. Pretty cool, right? So, the cat was laying flopped on the ground like limp spaghetti, and out of a sudden moment of inspiration, madness, or a lust for chaos, I can't tell, the new player asked if he could swipe the cat's spine. I allowed it, and now that cat has a poisonous pickle for a spine. Why'd I let this happen? In our group, we had the brilliant idea to travel back in time using our Warlock's patron's power, to which they agreed they'd help out. Before commencing the time travel, we tried receiving a blessing from the local nature god, Obad High, to help improve our chances of succeeding. Our magic items served as tributes. We only had a 10% chance to succeed, and we got really lucky. All we needed was for the Warlock's patron's magical item to consume the items and send us through the fabric of time. As we prepared for the ritual and the Warlock held out their special dark magic orb, the chaotic evil criminal in our party snatched it from his hand and triggered a flaming vortex, which burned down not only all the trees, serving as the nature god sanctuary, basically undoing all the progress we'd made towards gaining Obad High's favor, but he even died in the process. As if that wasn't bad enough, the Warlock finished the ritual to go back in time, but little did we know he had played us like a damn fiddle, as he held his orb up in his hands and uttered the words, consume it all, and forget everything that happened here today. All the party members around him lost their memories of what happened, and the Warlock's patron successfully consumed all of our magic items, all for the Warlock's own benefit. We did not go back in time because the Warlock didn't actually want to. He instead sabotaged the attempt and helped his patron grow stronger. Was playing the Winter's Splendor one-shot as an intro to Waterdeep Dragon Heist with a group of 6 players. For this story, the only relevant players are my character, Shaper, a human rogue, Martin, a minotaur ranger, and Ren, a gnome fighter. When exploring the manor, we came across this tiefling lady in a room. Shaper uses the master keys he stole from the butler to unlock the door. Seeing the tiefling, Shaper picked up Ren the gnome and threw her into the room as bait, walking into the room himself after the tiefling proved to be harmless. Ren was shouting at Shaper for using her as a shield, then out of nowhere, Martin rushes into the room and body slams the tiefling, ramming through both Shaper and Ren in the process. This act caused an unplanned encounter as we weren't supposed to fight anyone. Everyone else at the table, including the DM, were all like, WTF, Martin? Later that same session, Shaper was again trying to sneak into a room. His stolen master keys didn't work on this door, and he failed the lockpick check. Seeing this, Martin, you guessed it, rams into the door, smashing straight through it into the room. This time, though, Shaper was ready. Succeeding a dex save, he backflipped past the charging Minotaur and landed successfully behind him. Unfortunately, Martin got arrested by the guards, cause smashing through doors makes a lot of noise, and we had to go get him. Ultimately, we ended up not getting any rewards for the one-shot since Martin caused a lot of property damage. Druid. So the big bad evil guy has cat allergy? DM. Yes, he is heavily allergic to cats. Barbarian. I wish to throw Whiskers. Barbarian's pet cat. DM. Okay. Where do you want to throw him? Barbarian. There. Points at big bad evil guy. Everyone else. Wait, excuse me. Barbarian. I wish to forcibly introduce Whiskers to the dickhead in the robe. DM. Roll to hit, I guess. Barbarian. Nat 20. DM. Rolls nat 1. Big bad evil guy. Whiskers, actually a tabaxi rogue. Meow, bitch! Everyone else in literal tears laughing. DM, legitimately irritated. Hello, my sweet friends, and thank you for scanning your cosmic meat antenna to our frequency for the entire duration of this video. Just wanted to remind you to make sure you get your entries in for Rip Daddy's significant stimulus package. The link is in the description or the pinned comment below. Thanks again to our cherished friends over at Easy Roller Dice Company for helping us make this whole thing happen. Check out their Discord server. Check out our Discord server. Our Discord servers are sweet friends as well. If you had a moment that resulted in a double take, please feel free to share it in the comments below. If you've got another story that you'd like to share with the community, feel free to do so in our official subreddit, r/MrRipper. I hope that this week you take some time for yourself. It's important to recharge. If you want more of this perfectly sane meat being, feel free to hit me up on TikTok at Dave Makes Noises. Please sub for Nat 20s. Ding that dong if punctuality is your jam. We love you here at Rip Daddy's house. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.